All right. First of all, Ben, thank you. I appreciate you joining us. And
Oh,
so,
thank you so much for having me. And now I'm looking forward to coming to Meridian at the Temple Theater. That's from what I understand, is turning 100 years old, which is just amazing. Um, when we first started doing shows, I thought we would be doing mostly casinos and things like that. And one of the big surprises that we had doing these things is the chance to do these beautiful old theaters because they're just such great venues.
and the temple is one of those. I mean, it's been around, never closed in 100 years, by the way.
Oh wow.
So I've seen your show, and I've told
Mhm.
people, I said, it is unbelievable show. Whether, look, you can be an Elton John fan or not, it is a fantastic show. But what are people in store for, Ben? Or, sorry,
Well,
Elton, Friday night?
well, of course, I don't do a 70s Elton show. I do more of a current. If you've seen Elton in the last uh, 10 or 15 years, then you'll know what we do. Like I said, I'll be 65 on December 2nd, and I'm not in my 20s. I'm not in my 30s. I can't do handstands on the piano. I can't. I can't walk in platform shoes anymore. So what I do is more of a mature Elton John, and so that's what you'll be seeing. I have, and I can't say this enough. I have one of the best bands behind me that I've ever had. They got Ron Todd on guitar and backing vocals. I've got Brad Scott on drums and backing vocals, Johnny Lee Miller on bass and backing vocals. These guys are so professional and so dedicated, and they work very hard. Um, and that's the lineup that you saw in Vicksburg. And since then, we've brought in someone new, a fifth member, Jim Watson, who's going to do auxiliary keyboard.
Hmm.
So he'll be adding things like orchestra and brass and synth sounds, and it's created such a great dynamic. That's what you the show you saw in Vicksburg was great, but this is going to be even better. So we're really looking forward to that. He's starting on this tour with us there, so it's going to be great.
You've been doing this how long?
Um, Almost 20 years now. I started in
Uh,
the early 2000s, just playing by myself in bars, and and then just gradually getting other musicians behind me and getting better gigs, and and of course once Ron, my guitar player, came into the group. He's now the manager of the band and our musical director, and he's done so much uh, to uh, uh, to broaden our horizons, basically. And we're traveling so much more and doing so much more shows, and it's been really fun.
wow.
Yeah.
Uh, December 1st, that's the Friday night.
Uh-huh.
And Elton, so obviously you've been, like me, probably lifelong fan, I'm guessing.
Oh yes, yes. Um, I 50 years ago, I heard
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
heard "Goodbye Elbrick Road" on the radio, and I didn't know who it was. I was in a car, and I asked a friend of mine. I said, "Who is that?" And they said, "It's Elton John." And I was like, "That's amazing." And so I went out and I bought the "Goodbye Elbrick Road" album, and I played the grooves out of it. I sang to it all the time. I went backwards and collected his back catalog and sang to that. I'm a natural mimic anyway, so I developed his vocal pattern. He inspired me to learn how to play the piano. Um, so that's all brought us to this, basically. Um, And so, yeah. And I like him. Also need to say, I like him as a human being as well. It's not just the music. It's not just the showmanship. This guy's been through so much and overcome so much. And if you've seen the movie Rocket Man, which is or read his memoir called Me, you know, he's overcome addiction. He started the Elton John AIDS Foundation, which has helped so many people. He's on the board of a bunch of charities. He's just an inspiration for me, actually.
Wow, me too. Look, you said you and I both have birthdays this week, and we're kind of in the same age. But now, I saw you. It's still a high energy show that you've got.
Oh, it is.
I saw you.
Yeah, and I mean,
you do the ballads, but now
Mhm.
you do Saturday Night Fight and all that too.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, Elton's 11 years older than I.
That's incredible.
So, and he's doing, he's done. He's retired now, but he's done a high energy show, 2.5 hours, 3 hours. The last time I saw him was in 2018 in New Orleans, and put on a 3 hour show with no break, and it was just, it's amazing. And so that's what we try to do. We'll be doing a 2 hour show, and but yes, the energy's there. You know, we're gonna I always say things like, I'm not gonna kick the piano stool. I'm not gonna, you know, do that, but I wind up doing it anyway.
Yeah,
I can't help it. I have to give it. I have to. I have to give it all. So, so I wind up doing it.
wow. I mean,
Yeah.
this has got to be a blast for you doing this.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a lot of
So
work.
much fun. And being able to travel to, we were in Southern California last year, doing the show, and it's just great. It's a kind of a dream, and it was something I've always wanted to do, and it's basically my retirement.
Yeah, yeah. So when you get out of when you stay in character a lot, obviously, but not all the time. So
no, well, no, yeah, but thank goodness, because
yeah,
they'd come and take me away in a van if
yeah.
I. But yeah, so the last show we did in Florida, and I love it when things like this happen, but this was so this so gratifying, because this lady came up to me after the show, and she asked me, she said, "How long have you lived in America?" And she was British, and I was like, I was amazed. I thought, I mean, I try to do his voice as well as I possibly can. I've studied a lot of his interviews and tried to develop his vocal pattern. But I looked at her and I said, I've lived here all my life. I'm from Mobile, Alabama, ma'am. And she was amazed. But yeah, that's, I mean, that this is it. This is the you know, interviewing me is kind of like being the doctor in the movie Sybil. It's like, can we talk to Ben now? Okay, we've been talking to Elton. Let me, you know. So yeah, this is my actual voice. Yeah, and yeah, I don't walk around doing Elton all the time.
Well, you got it. I mean, you've got everything down, and I hope people will come and watch. I've got a
Oh yeah,
quick
we're really looking
story.
forward to it. It's you know, like I said, I really do love doing these these old theaters, because they're you know, the architecture, and like you said, we were talking earlier, and you said the acoustics are amazing, and that you get that a lot in old theaters, because they were built before people had sound systems, so they were built literally for you to be able to stand on stage and talk and have everyone in the place hear you. So it's, yeah, it's amazing acoustics.